we're back in DayZ on Xbox One, and I thought I'd do maybe a bit of a starting walkthrough. Fresh spawn right here, brand new on the map. I joined right in, no server queue or anything like that, and it looks like the server will be restarted in 20 minutes, just my luck. So we're kind of going over basic survival right from the start. So one of the initial things that I suggest doing if you are having a trouble understanding where you're going, what you're doing, would be to use this thing called iSurvive. It's available online in the browser on any device, or it's available as an app for whatever device you have. And it basically gives you a map, and it's going to help you be able to locate where you are in the game. There are a number of signs basically present towards the end of either town areas. And from there, you're going to be able to orient yourself and understand where you can go and what you need to do in order to survive. And I just went in the same building twice because I'm not paying attention. So in the game, running will deteriorate your water and health a lot faster than just kind of taking a nice brisk pace within the game. And yes, food is extremely hardcore right now. I find water to be generally fine, but you get a lot of issues in this. You got to be careful with what you're drinking in the game too, which is also difficult because, you know, a lot of the water now has like disease elements to it. And quite honestly, the game's balancing isn't great at this point. Again, water, okay. But food is a huge drawing point. So what you need to do is basically go into buildings and search for supplies. And yes, loot is hard to find. You're not going to find a gun in every building. It's not a battle royale. It isn't. So greenhouses like this are actually usually pretty good for finding food. I've been in a number of them. They actually got food there. We used to be able to find food in other areas, but they keep changing it with each update in regards to the loot economy and what is present within the game. So the game server did note that it is going to reset in the near future, and that's basically where things come into play, such as like getting new loot in the server. So if you're wondering why that's happening, that's essentially why. It's basically just to restart the game and kind of get all the loot and everything going. That's why you want to pick a server with persistence on, because the persistence on is basically going to keep things that you've done in that map, you know, in that server. It's going to persist with them. Set up a tent or whatever, it's going to carry. Set up a base, it's going to carry over through the server resets. Whereas persistence off, you know, it's Wild West out there, right? So there's lots of different buildings to venture into, and over time you're going to get an idea, you know, of what kind of buildings are out there and what kind of loot you get in these different buildings. So this is kind of a bad spawn in my opinion, because this one is in the middle of an industrial area, so there's going to be a lot less housing type areas for me to get loot and survive within. Capri pants, oh yeah. So you also notice when I was eating that food there that I didn't eat a whole lot of it. You don't actually need to eat all of the food or all of the water, like as in drink all the water, because it's going to fill you up. There's a volume to it, I suppose you could say. You know, there's a certain set limit of how big your stomach is, how big your liquid pools, I guess, are, because they do split the two to some degree, what you're going to get for certain food items. Some of them do food and water, you know, some of them just food. It's an interesting balance based on what you find in the game. Yeah, these little huts also, sometimes you find food and stuff in them, so they're worth checking out. And it's also worth checking out the roof of them, because sometimes you find guns. But this one doesn't have a ladder to climb on, so obviously you're not going to find it there. But yeah, it's just kind of taking things at a brisk pace and constantly looking for loot. And again, like I've been seeing here, I haven't come across any loot, so, you know, it's just kind of like a bad luck situation. It's not that there isn't loot in the game. Again, with the staircase there, your ladder, you should check the top level of it, in case there is something there. Oh, jeez, you gotta be kidding me. There we go. And looks like somebody's shooting. Normally you want to avoid the shots because you'll likely get killed, but, you know, danger is all cool and stuff like that. So you can actually vault over things, but, you know, just know that it actually does take a bit of your energy to do that. and therefore might actually kill you a little bit faster. So there's a helmet. Oh yeah, and zombies and stuff, they totally go over that too. They don't care. Zombies are nuts. And yeah, you just gotta kind of deal with them in your own way. I mean, you can fight them, but it's not really worth that. Some of the military cargo things actually allow you to kind of go in them, and they'll have resources and stuff, so that's a good idea to come with. This is just like a really bad spawn, though. You can, if you don't like this spawn, just kind of jump off the ledges and then respawn. It's kind of weird that the game doesn't just have a respawn option, quite honestly. It's a little bit disappointing, but, you know, it does what it does, right? Sometimes I like to kind of trap zombies if I can. Get rid of some of them so I don't have to deal with as many. Being careful of zombies slapping you and everything like that, because, you know, they could actually cut you and you'd have to use a rag to heal yourself with. I guess some people didn't know about the whole rag thing in the game, so I guess that's a kind of a good point to note as you're moving around. But yeah, sometimes it's just bad luck in it. You're not going to find food, not going to find water. And wow, that door, I thought for sure would close. Sometimes it's a little bit touchy on the X to close doors and stuff like that. Which can, of course, get you killed. But you should want to, like, largely stay near the residential type buildings in order to kind of get the best looting options present. Again, the industrial is more for, like, when you're trying to get kind of supplies and that. People usually hang out by the fire station. They're usually hostile and will kill you, but fire station is also a pretty good spot just to get some like basic gear, you know, whether you're finding a fire axe or some clothing that can basically store a lot more for you. So it's good to kind of take a look at those ones and kind of do your thing. And I mean, I'm playing it a little bit differently than I imagine most people would do. I'm not really too caring about the zombies. I mean, they're gonna do their thing. See, that one cut me. Not a big deal. Just use the rag or bandages to heal yourself up. And you continue on with your day. And it might seem kind of silly to go over that, but I have seen a number of comments where people are just like, I'm bleeding to death, and they don't know what to do. So, yeah, there you go, rags. Nice and easy. It takes a long time for your blood levels to go back up. See, you've got a health and a blood meter. And you need food and water in order to get that up again, because that is just the way it kind of goes. And the zombies, their aggro disappears after a while. I think that one's still going to be angry at me, but there, see, we found a potato, which is always good. And greenhouses, good place to get food and resources from. Sometimes even seeds you can get into farming. I have videos for those, but we're not going to get over to like get into farming with like what we're doing specifically today. It's just something to mention. Oh, look, a gun too. What are the odds? But they're so rare, you never find them. Yeah, but ammo and stuff is kind of hard. You don't really ever find a gun that's got, like, you know, bullets in it or slugs. And sometimes you just find ammo without finding a gun. That's just the way it kind of is. You have to spend a long time in this actually surviving in order to be successful and doing well. Again, it's just like a lot of time investment. You could spend like all day playing and like not find any guns. But if you are finding that's the case and you're getting frustrated about it, go play a community server with PvP or something in it, or high looting options, and you'll have more of a fun time and be able to learn about, you know, mechanics of the game and everything like that to get a better hold of what it has to offer, especially if you are struggling or finding things to be a bit tiring. Oh wow, yeah, they've actually got that's interesting. You know, they've actually got like a fence being built up here. That is absolutely fascinating. You don't see that too often in the game. Look, another zombie. But yeah, usually when you come in here, you'll find something like a clothing item. You'll find the firefighter stuff, and they actually hold quite a lot of, I guess you could say, slots. You can hold a lot more resources with that once you find them. But yeah, just kind of doing your thing, moving around. See, the firefighter helmet's kind of good, you know, block shots and stuff a little bit better than, say, a boonie hat, but the boonie hat does match this character a little bit better. Actually, a firefighter helmet, not too bad either. I don't think there's ever anything in the showers, but usually in this room you'll find, like, maybe an axe or, like, an outfit or something that you can wear. which is kind of nice. It would have been good to get a, I guess you could say like a melee weapon would be nice here. But you see the arrows, kind of the food in the water, how that's going up. Definitely helpful for my survival. And don't forget to get a can of Pepsi and some Spite. Got Spite? Nah, just kidding. They don't actually give stuff out. It'd be cool though if you could like punch it and they give you like water or water, like a can of soda or something would be neat. But yeah, that's not bad. But it's kind of just like taking the game nice and slow, not running around anywhere, you know, relaxing and kind of find loot and stuff. Looking at all the houses. I mean, you're not gonna find loot everywhere. It's again not a battle royale game, so you're not gonna find guns on guns on guns. Oh, and yeah, there's also like these map boards here. I guess we're in this town, which is that's kind of an alright town. It's again not one of my favorite spots. I always try to spawn near the like you always spawn kind of near the coast, depending on if you're like server hopping and then you end up somewhere else in the line. And I know server hopping is a different term, but I mean that's the simplest way to kind of explain to people when you're leaving a server and spawning somewhere else. But you know, Slinch Ninchi, I love that place. Saying that totally wrong. Oh, sometimes you find items on these things too, little these park benches and stuff. But yeah, there's different spots that are a little bit better for, you know, running into people, and finding food and stuff like that, and the server's gonna restart. But I think we're gonna have enough time to cover everything that I want to go over, because this is supposed to be like a first part, like brand new fresh spawn, kind of showing things. This place is pretty good. You know, you get 2 beds. Sometimes there's something on them. Sometimes there's something in here. This is just generally a good spot for finding some loot. Oh yeah, don't get yourself caught kind of in the door, otherwise you'll die, which is not great. Seeing the health and everything go down, but we're just gonna top ourselves off with a little bit more apple, seeing the kind of supply of apple going down. So I'm gonna do this door, and then I'm gonna whip over here and, well, close that, I guess, get one guy. Oh, actually, she clipped me on that. Oh, look, there's a person there. So they're probably gonna kill me, I'm guessing, but you never know, right? This is where you would talk to them and kind of plead for your life. They might ignore you, they might attack you. You never know, most people are hostile in this, especially in the current state of all the new players from Game Pass jumping in. It's just how DayZ kind of is, and you gotta deal with it to some degree, I guess. Looks like water's going down. So these things are pretty good. Sometimes you find melee weapons. We're gonna try to get, what's her name in here. We're just gonna close the door. We are going to take the shovel, though. We can throw it right into our hands. The shovel's pretty good. So there was a guy nearby. I don't know where he went. But yeah, if you're hitting zombies, try to aim for the head. Kills them faster. Or in the spine, you might get an insta-kill. Then when you kill a zombie, you might find equipment, something like that. Hey. I don't think he's got any bullets in there. He might shoot me. He might not. Whatever. It is what it is, right? So you keep on living. Oh, it looks like there's a glow stick that's been used. I don't know what he's trying to do. Who cares? But lots of houses and that. I try to stay away from this area, though, if you are in this particular town, because usually lots of people around being all hostile. And what is with this tree? Is this glitched? Because this tree is not supposed to... Oh, did they cut her? They cut her. They cut her good. Oh. I haven't seen that, actually. I haven't seen a tree cut like that before, but looks cool. Looks super cool. But yeah, there's not usually a lot of loot here. Oh, look, looks like somebody died. Usually when you see dead bodies, you know, you go in and you see what loot they got. Sometimes it's glitched, so you can't take it. I do find that if something is glitched and you put, say it's like something in a sweater, like it's a pop can, and it's in a sweater, you can take the sweater in your hands and then take the item from the sweater's inventory in your hands, and sometimes that fixes the glitch. But not always, right? Like, it's a problem, that's for sure. No, I don't want this stuff. Ugh. Be hard to get rid of. We got our nice shovel, and then we got like a police jacket, a little bit better. So you can quick press Y on it. So this is a dangerous area. There's probably guys with guns, because there's like a military encampment out there too. But you do what you do. You try to get your supplies and try to live a little bit longer. Sometimes you find stuff in here, like weapons and guns, maybe a stab vest. That's kind of cool. Some sick shades, nice. And pretty easy going. So yeah, I don't see why people say this is so hard. It's just been kind of a really casual going time, and maybe make it look slightly easier because I played it a lot. But I don't know, people keep saying I'm pretty awful at this, so whatever, what can you do, right? Sometimes there's weapons in here. Not really seeing that unless I missed it. And yeah, you might miss a lot too, you know. Other people notice things I miss all the time, but it is what it is. Cool. Got that. We got the shovel, so we're gonna hotkey that there so that we can pull it out whenever we need it on demand, and we're gonna enjoy the rest of our apple to kind of fill up our inventory stuff and move here. As you get more food and stuff, you can venture inland, but really you gotta take a lot of food with you, otherwise you're just gonna kind of die. You should be careful too. Playing pretty recklessly, you know, you can crouch, make less noise, the zombies won't notice you, but I'm kind of like, I don't really care about the zombies noticing me, because not a huge problem. Oh, looks like we got another gun there, or shirt here. So somebody died. Oh, these are some sick kicks. If you ever find that your feet are bleeding or whatever, you know, that's because you got to replace your shoes occasionally. They get worn out from a lot of walking. So then you find military spots like this, and occasionally there's like good loot and stuff. And then this one is a good example of loot. There's usually like clothing and stuff, but sometimes you get like a can of beans and that. Ooh, boxed rounds, nice. Anything else in here? No, not really. A lot of people like to camp on this thing and shoot people from the top of it, so there very well could be people here. I think this is like a bit of a community center or something, and occasionally you'll find loot in the building too, right? Not really seeing any loot, which is a little bit disappointing. But, you know, keep on keeping on. I remember, oh wow, yeah, somebody set up a light up here. It's kind of fun. I remember at my own like server, I call it a realm because I'm used to my Minecraft realm that I run. I remember when I had my server here, I would basically, you know, kind of just camp up on here. I thought that was kind of funny. And then you can just pull out your shovel if you've got the thing set up, and then you can just shovel a guy down. Ain't no big deal. You just keep on keeping on. And I close the door. See, they're just a bunch of zombies. They're pretty mindless. They don't know what they're doing. Climb over stuff. I think there's another military post around here too that you can go to. Well, I guess it's a police station, has to say. Ow. That hurts. But we're going to keep burning right through it until the, I think almost the server's done. We want to give a solid sort of initial kind of walkthrough setup as to what the start of the game is like. So there might be somebody here, considering the fact there's two zombies just kind of waiting outside, but I don't know. The door's open. This is a good spot. These police buildings, you find loot and stuff. You know, you'll find like bullets. See, we found lots of stuff already. Nothing I don't think is particularly helpful, but we can take a look at the guns we got. So we've got the BK-43, so we don't have slugs, but we've got this thingy, 7.62 by 39. That's box at 380, and I don't think this one yet, 9 by 39. So we don't have anything that matches what we have, which is a bit of a shame. But we'll hold on to the guns and kind of get rid of certain common ones as we go along. Again, don't want to be stuck on zombies. What is it? Yeah, the one gun we have there is pretty common, but a lot of the time you can just kind of like bring in zombies in here in these storage buildings, and you can just kind of close the door on them. You don't got to deal with them anymore. You know, it's kind of a whatever. They do what they do, and you kind of move along in your life. Oh, gloves are good too. If you slide down or go down ladders, you could cut your hands and kind of bleed, so that's not good. You want to fix that up by having gloves, and you're like, yes, your gloves and stuff can break down too, so you gotta watch out for that. And yeah, you know, you just gotta conserve your food and be careful about your meters. Don't run about if it's not needed. But yeah, sometimes when you're going inland, it can be tough, especially if you spawn out in the middle of nowhere. Like I really do consider the drastic changes they made for server hopping, because some people were crying about it. And yes, I know there's all these blah 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 reasons for it, or I don't care. I think it affects large population more than, you know, like a small niche amount. But anyways, moving past that discussion that we've been having for ages and ages, where I'm never right, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's just kind of like it's a death sentence if you leave a game and then join a different server because you spawn out in the middle of nowhere. It's just like a weird, inconsiderate time thing. Sometimes this place has got like tools, weapons, stuff you'd sometimes find in that type of building. Again, it's just a lot of it's learning the buildings, learning where the loot kind of spawns, getting an idea of things. A lot of luck too. I mean, you're not going to find stuff everywhere. I mean, I'm even shocked I found this many guns, but obviously people complaining about not being able to find loot obviously are not trying hard enough. Sorry guys, don't want to be mean, but I thought there was some big change that made everything so hard, but you know, this is just like a regular generic run-of-the-mill online server. It's just kind of nice and easy going. I didn't have to wait in a queue at all. I just jumped right into like a full server. I think I had to wait 50 seconds just for the server to change up. Not a big deal at all. And I went on my merry way going about trying to survive. But yeah, if you'd like to see this continue, then let me know. But yeah, I think we're almost a bit at the end of our journey for this one, for showcasing, just kind of a general starting point in DayZ, because we were getting some notes about people wanting to see what that was like. And I hope I haven't been too condescending, I guess, to some degree, just with my snappiness, but yeah, just lighthearted, easygoing DayZ time. This building, these sometimes have good stuff in them, sometimes they don't, hit or miss. And I think they got these buildings. And don't forget, when you are logging off, I guess we could show that part here because the server thing is going to restart soon, but when you are logging off, there's like a timer, and people could kill you in that amount of time. And I wish it just had a quick log off where it's like, whatever, it doesn't matter, but they got rid of that because people were complaining. But yeah, you can actually get killed in this point, so you got to watch out for people and press cancel if that does happen, or hope you hit that time counter. Oh, and don't sign out if you're like bleeding or something like that, because you will kind of die while you're gone. So yeah.